Hi, my name's Claire. I'm the Divisional Director of Healthcare Professionals for the Division of Cancer and Clinical Support. I come from the pathology laboratory. I am trained as a healthcare scientist, and I studied the Associate Project Management Apprenticeship Level 4. I chose to study an apprenticeship because I already had 2 degrees and a master's, but actually just because I have the clinical skills and the qualifications doesn't mean that I have all the skills to do my job properly. And so I chose to take on a project management qualification because actually there was a lot of things that I still had to learn, and I was involved at the time in a lot of project management work. So what it allowed me to do is to learn in a bite-sized way and actually gain the tools to do my job really, really well. So one of the things I really liked about the course is that you could study from a bite-sized point of view, so that once you came to the end of a certain topic, you could demonstrate your learning. But I incorporated that within my role at present. So not only did it strengthen my working practice, but actually it was easier to gain the qualification. So I've used a lot of the skills that I learned within my current role. I still do use those skills. I've picked up tools such as the use of SWOT and PESTLE. I really use all the time the communications plan, and I think about who influences change within the trust and who do I need from a power perspective to gain the support that's required to ensure that we maintain our patients' quality of care and the safe practice not only for our patients but for our staff. And it's made me look at things in a different manner and actually be very clear about the way I approach certain projects, be very honest and clear about the time frame that's needed, and from a resource point of view, what do I need to invest in to make this work? So I find that it's benefited me hugely, and I would really recommend anybody to be an apprentice learner. I'm planning to do another apprenticeship course because actually, like I said, I think there's more that I need to learn, and because my scope of practice is so broad, the opportunities given to you using an apprenticeship and the different courses that are on offer are huge. So, I mean, all I can really say is I felt the benefit, I've enjoyed it. The way it's delivered is in a really flexible way, and because a lot of the training is electronic, it means that you can pick and choose when you are going to study, and it affords you the opportunity to study from home as well as during work time as well.
Hello, my name is Kirsty Banks and I am a support worker in radiology at Queen's Hospital. I'm currently enrolled in the Diagnostic Imaging Apprenticeship Programme. So I decided to apply for the apprenticeship programme in radiology to further my career. What I enjoy most about the apprenticeship is it's mostly practical and I get a lot of support at work. So this apprenticeship has gave me great confidence as a support worker in radiology. I have 2 years left of the apprenticeship and I'm hoping to qualify as a radiographer. So after qualifying as a radiographer, I'd love to stay with the trust and give great care to the patients I'll be looking after. And in the future, I will definitely enrol myself on another apprenticeship if it comes available.
Hi everyone, my name's Ebenezer and I'm one of the senior KPO specialists within BHIET. I'm currently doing a level 7 academic professional apprenticeship that includes doing a postgraduate certification in higher education. One of the main reasons why I wanted to do the apprenticeship was because I do a lot of teaching inside the job role, which I'm currently in. And as part of that teaching, a lot of what we teach people is that you're meant to use the skills and knowledge that we teach them in their normal roles. And that's kind of like an apprenticeship. So I wanted to, number one, understand what it actually feels like to be somebody who's learning skills and then trying to apply those skills in their normal working life. Another really big thing, which is a massive benefit, is the fact that as a level 7 apprenticeship, it's quite a lot of work. And as part of the funding, I have to be given at least 20% of my time back to complete the apprenticeship, which means that my team supports me by giving me an entire day each week for me to actually complete my studies and complete all the work that comes within my studies. And if I didn't receive that day, there is no way I would have the time to really sit down, properly plan it, and properly actually implement all of the stuff which I'm currently learning. In my job role, I do a lot of teaching of different types of staff in the organisation, and I teach mostly about how do you continuously improve your different processes that staff members have. And one of the really important things I'm learning inside my apprenticeship is actually how do you teach? because teaching is way more than just what you're doing in a classroom. Teaching is about how do you assess people, how do you mark people, how do you give people back feedback. And one of the things that I've been absolutely amazed by is the amount of knowledge that I'm being able to actually get during my apprenticeship sessions themselves, and connecting with so many different people in the actual course itself, because it's not just me. I'm with 19 other students from all walks of life. Some of them are nurses, some of them are lecturers doing dance, some of them are lecturers doing physics. So it's really interesting to hear from so many different types of people, and then actually start to learn from not only others, but also from my lecturers and my educators, and how can I apply all of those things I'm learning within my own job role. As part of the apprenticeship that I'm doing, I'm currently applying all of the stuff which I'm learning in my job role after each session that I'm actually doing. So after every module, I apply what I'm learning in my job role. After I complete doing my apprenticeship, I want to actually redesign some of how the education of quality improvement and continuous improvement works within our organization. And I think by doing this apprenticeship, it's currently giving me all of the skills I need around the history of education, around the psychology of education, and also around the policy making of education. So I would love to actually use all of that knowledge in helping me to create and reform and review the entire program that we have of continuous improvement within the organization. I never knew that we had such an amazing apprenticeship program within BHIET, and I wish that I did know all of this information I know now when I first started, because I would have absolutely loved to have taken up this opportunity when I first started, and I'm extremely grateful that I'm taking up this opportunity now. Having a look, there are so many different types of apprenticeships within the organization that you can do at so many different levels, and the great thing is that the organization and your team support you in your education. And I think that's one of the major benefits of doing it as an apprenticeship, rather than doing it as either a master's course separately or doing it as maybe an undergraduate course separately. Because doing the apprenticeship, not only do you get the same level of learning, but you also get the funding and you also get the time and the support to actually complete the work. And often, we work in healthcare and time is scarce. So having that support and time given to us is such a big benefit.
Hi, I'm Tina Harris. I'm the Workforce Services Manager, part of the People Division. In terms of taking an apprentice, I was initially a little bit reluctant. The reason that we applied for an apprentice and advertised the role as an apprentice was largely because that was the trust policy at the time. So having had a Band 3 vacancy, I then advertised that as an apprenticeship. I did have some reservations about taking on an apprentice because I was concerned about the amount of time and effort I would need to put into that to support the person. But the reality of it was quite different. I found that the time that I spent with Sean, who was our amazing apprentice, was really quite helpful to me as well in terms of understanding what needed to be learned and what changes I needed to make in my team to help to move the service on. Sean was completely proactive throughout his 18-month apprenticeship, and he spent a large amount of time shadowing other people in the department, other people in our division. He became part of focus groups that was feeding back to the trust on certain issues. And when he needed to have his off training period, 20% per week, he would then largely try and do that to support the team and make sure that the service didn't suffer. Having Sean in post has been really beneficial to my service. He's come in with a fresh perspective, a new set of eyes, and he's really supported the rest of the team with innovation and helped us to relook at all of our processes. I would really encourage managers to take an apprentice. If you get the right fit and the right qualification that matches the area that you're managing, then it can be of huge benefit to you and your existing team in terms of getting fresh ideas and ultimately having a new member of staff that has spent a great deal of time and effort qualifying for the job.
My name is Sean Mossman. I'm a trainee Workforce Services Officer and I joined the Trust in July 2019. I started at BHR Trust as an apprentice human resources administrator, studying a level 3 business administration qualification. I studied for 18 months before completing my assessments and submitting my portfolio of evidence, A few weeks after this, I was graded a distinction, which I'm really proud of. The reason that I decided to apply for an apprenticeship was because I always had a keen interest in HR. I'd worked at different offices in London, in lots of different departments, where I quickly realised it was HR work that I enjoyed the most, and this was a great way to get into that career. I applied for this role as the thought of working in HR whilst supporting the amazing staff in the hospitals really appealed to me. I'd also be starting a career in the NHS, which I feel really proud to be a part of, and all this whilst gaining a qualification, which made this a really exciting opportunity. I really enjoyed being part of the Workforce Services team. They're all really knowledgeable and patient, as I think I asked about 100 questions an hour in the first few months of my apprenticeship. They were also really supportive of my learning, which made the process of settling into my role and responsibilities really enjoyable. I also really enjoyed the shadowing opportunities that Tina organised for me throughout my apprenticeship. I was able to spend a day shadowing Amelia in the business partner team. I was able to spend a day observing the recruitment offices, and I was able to attend hearings with the employee relations team, all a part of my apprenticeship learning. From this, I was able to attain a much broader understanding of the work that the other teams in HR all do and how all of that work links together. This is an example of an opportunity you'd only be able to do when you're working as an apprentice. At the end of my apprenticeship, I was offered a trainee workforce services officer role in the team. I was offered this as I'd built a solid foundation of HR knowledge from my apprenticeship. Because of this, my learning and development hasn't slowed down since my apprenticeship ended. My plans for the future are to become a fully fledged workforce services officer and also hopefully study for a CIPD HR qualification. And if I was asked to complete another apprenticeship, I absolutely would. The Trust is really supportive of further education and apprentices. Kim and the team are always sending out really enticing emails with lots of great further educational opportunities.
Hello, my name's Kim Saunders and I'm the Trust Apprentice Lead. I hope you've enjoyed our video and I hope your colleagues have inspired you to think about how you can develop in your own career. There are many apprenticeships available. They range from a level 2 up until level 7. So if you're thinking, what can I do? Then why don't you get in touch with us? You can either give us a call on extension 3859 or you can email us at sm-apprenticeships. We'd love to talk to you about how you can develop, so give us a call.